West Hill United is a progressive spiritual community where how you live is more important than what you believe. West Hill United is a people, a place, an idea. We are a community living out of a progressive faith, striving to make a positive difference in our own lives, the lives of others, and the world. Join us Sundays at 10:30 a.m. or connect with us at any time.
We have two readings this morning. The first is from Sharon Salzberg, who is a leading practitioner of loving kindness meditation. In this excerpt from her book, she is telling us that loving kindness is an ability that can be learned. It seems obvious that practicing loving kindness is a good thing. But when we extend the practice to those we usually don't consider, and even those we find difficult, it can be an excellent tool for deepening our connection to the web of life. From Real Happiness, The Power of Meditation by Sharon Salzberg. Loving kindness is a form of love that truly is an ability, and as research scientists have shown, it can be learned. It is the ability to take some risks with our awareness, to look at ourselves and others with kindness instead of reflexive criticism, to include in our concern those to whom we normally pay no attention, to care for ourselves unconditionally instead of thinking, well, I'll love myself as long as I never make a mistake. And it is the ability to gather our attention and really listen to others, even those we've written off as not worth our time. It is the ability to see the humanity in people we don't know, and the pain in people we find difficult. Offered as wisdom for the journey. May we walk in its light. And our second reading is a short poem from Emily Dickinson, which is beautifully and accurately describes the power of kindness. Let's listen to her words. If I Can Stop One Heart from Breaking, by Emily Dickinson. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. Offered as wisdom for the journey. May we walk in its light.
We got it? It's pretty universally accepted that some form of meditation is good for you. Although I must confess that I'm one of those folks who's often said, meditation doesn't really work for me. And my narrative, my story is that until recently, one of my most memorable meditation moments happened when I was at seminary. One time at one of our weekly gatherings, or our worship services as we called them, we held a taizé service, which was marked by chanting and silence. You sing short refrains over and over, not 3 times or 5 times, but however many times feels right. It's a very meditative experience. And they also incorporate a lot of silence into a taizé service. And at one point, there was a 10-minute silence. And I never did great with silence. My mind would race a lot, but during this silence, as my mind raced, my phone started to ring in my book bag by the entrance where we placed our bags before sitting down. And it was a loud ring, too. It was that imitation 1970s dial phone ring. It's very loud. And so I felt I'd cause less commotion if I just let it ring, and it stopped eventually. But the kicker is when I picked up the message, it was someone calling me to tell me that a slot had opened up in a mindfulness meditation group. So my mindfulness meditation interrupted our silence, but that's just the way life works sometimes. And I've embraced and gotten better at meditation in the intervening years. I still find like mindfulness a challenge and sitting there being mindful of things, but it has sort of helped me just notice things, like notice my emotions and just see them for what they are. And that can open up some healthier responses. But even to say I'm good at meditation or bad at meditation is a complicated statement because there's so many kinds of meditation. Mindfulness is the flavor of the month, but we know that meditation has been a practice across all cultures for as long as we know. And there are meditative practices at every time and in every place in the world. And there's no reason you can't prefer or be more proficient at one type of meditation than another type of meditation. And so the type of meditation I'm going to speak about today is, as we know, loving kindness meditation. And it has its roots in Buddhism. And definitely all cultures have wisdom to offer. As we say in our value statement, we embrace that here at Westhill United. But I just want to be mindful of cultural appropriation. So I'm not going to be ringing a bowl or putting on any robes or anything. Of course, it's appropriate to learn from other cultures, and we should learn from other cultures. And there's ways in which something that they know might help us in ourselves and in our culture. There's wisdom in all traditions. So it's acceptable to look at another culture and see the benefit of a certain practice and see how we might incorporate that good practice into our lives and our culture. But we can't pull along the cultural trappings, because we know that moves us into cultural appropriation. It's one thing to practice a meditation that has its roots in Buddhism, and quite another thing to make a caricature of a Buddhist religious service and transport it here to Scarborough. So this particular meditation, as we be careful not to appropriate other cultures, this loving kindness meditation is practiced by silently repeating several phrases that engender loving kindness. And we repeat these phrases with enough space and enough silence that we can fully put our intention behind each phrase. And that's just what we did just a few minutes ago in our meditative moment. May you be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. We made this offering, this generous offering to ourselves, to our neighbor, and then to everyone and everything in the world, to every strand in the web of life. And it's been shown that just repeating these phrases with enough focus and intention can help one feel better and perhaps even contribute to a better world. May you be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. And the practitioners emphasize that while we must offer loving kindness to ourselves, we must also offer it to other people. People we know, someone we love, or someone difficult, or even the grocery checkout person at the grocery store. And there's no obligation to offer loving kindness to someone who has harmed you. It's possible that might help you, and if that's the case, then by all means do so. But if you're having trouble offering them loving kindness at this moment, you can just offer it to someone else. And there's lots of scientific, peer-reviewed research proving that loving kindness and other meditations is effective. We shared something in the e-blast showing you all the things that it can do and pointing you to actual research that has shown that. It has shown to increase positive emotions and decrease negative ones. It creates compassion and empathy, not only for others, but for yourself. And it can even help with physical ailments such as migraines or chronic pain. And it's even been shown to help people with schizophrenia spectrum disorders. So there's no doubt that loving kindness meditation is effective. And we don't know exactly how it works. We just know that it does. And that's okay. That's how the scientific method works. The scientific method doesn't necessarily explain how something is happening. It just can prove that something does happen. So even if we don't know exactly how it works, just how that it works, I'm going to speculate on the role of intention and intentionality with respect to this practice of loving kindness. Salzberg and the other practitioners emphasize the importance of putting your intention behind every phrase. They say to put your whole self behind each phrase as you say them slowly and silently to yourself. May you be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. To really mean it, to really offer this gift of love and kindness to yourself, to the person beside you, to everyone and everything in the world. And for some reason, the intentionality is important. The more fully you can put yourself, your entire self, behind each phrase, the more effective it is. And that's why practice is important, and it doesn't change things overnight. But hopefully, with enough practice, with enough intention, it can really help. May you be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. So we can see that there's something about focusing our intention on something positive, such as loving kindness, can be help. It's almost obvious that this practice would help me feel better as I do this. But I'm going to speculate it not only can only help me, but when I practice loving kindness, can it help others? When I offer this intentional gift of loving kindness to someone else, can it help their well-being? When I offer this gift of loving kindness to everyone and everything in the world, with my full intention, can it actually contribute to the well-being of the entire web of life? I'm speculating on the power of intention and intentionality. And one place that we might see the power of intention at work is in the placebo effect. And the placebo effect is the idea that if I have something wrong with me, and as if I'm told to take a pill each morning, but if I'm told it's medication, then it might work. It might actually help me, even if it's just a sugar pill. At some level, the placebo effect is effective. So much so that when science are testing medical treatments, they always must consider the placebo effect, where an empty pill or a treatment that doesn't really do anything actually does something. And I don't think this implies anything supernatural or necessitates a divine being or anything. It's just something we don't understand completely. And the universe is a very mysterious place. Things happen we can't explain. We can depend on them. We can depend on them happening without understanding exactly why or how they happen. And perhaps this mystery of the placebo effect might open us to something that's happening with loving kindness meditation. Perhaps the power of the placebo effect might open us the power of intention, so that when we offer loving kindness to our neighbor, it actually affects them. May you be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. And in one experiment on the placebo effect, they had two acupuncturists. And one was a warm and empathetic, and they would say things like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And they would spend more time with them. And another one was all business, and they just were like very businesslike and very perfunctory. And they found out that the warm, empathetic acupuncturist did better than the cold, businesslike acupuncturist. And these results indicate that such factors as warmth, empathy, duration of interaction, and the communication of positive expectation might indeed significantly affect the clinical outcome. And it just seems that when we offer loving kindness to someone, it actually helps them. And maybe when we offer loving kindness to everyone and everything, every strand on the web of life, it might actually help improve the well-being of the entire web of life. May all things be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. I'm not saying we don't have to do the work. You know, we still have to write letters to our politicians, and we still have to march, and we still have to go help people when they're in need. But loving kindness may be part of the solution. And part of how that works is loving kindness meditation improves our connection to others. And we know how important connectedness is. It's central to our values. And so this can help us improve our connection to our families, friends, to everyone in the world, the entire web of life. When we wish loving kindness, we are embracing the inherent interconnectedness of the universe. And we must not underestimate the entanglement of the world. According to quantum physics, the vibrations from my voice as I speak these words can affect a molecule inside a star at the edge of the universe instantly. This is quantum entanglement. In fact, the greatest illusion in the universe is the illusion of separation. We are connected. So maybe through that connection and through that loving kindness, we can be part of the salvation of the world by offering loving kindness to ourselves, to others, and to all beings and all things. Maybe we can participate in the healing of the world. Perhaps we put all our intention into the health of the world and everyone and everything in it. We might be part of this solution. And I don't know how or if this will work, but we know things that loving kindness meditation and the placebo effect do work, even if we don't know how. Because the unknowing isn't a barrier. The not understanding isn't a barrier. It's actually, the unknowing is possibility. The potential for a better world is there. We may not know exactly where it is or how we achieve it, but we know it's there. It's there in the possibility. It's there in the unknown. It's there. And it's there in the love and kindness you offer to yourself, to other people, and to everybody and everything in the world. As Emily Dickinson said, if I can stop one heart from breaking, I have not lived in vain. So I get it. Maybe meditation isn't for you. And that's okay. Meditation may not work for you, but maybe love and kindness can. Peace.
Become a sustaining champion of West Hill United's work by committing to an automatic monthly donation. Learn more or donate now through Canada Helps.